A mid-air collision occurred on Wednesday night involving an American Airlines plane and a military Black Hawk helicopter near Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport. The crash resulted in the loss of all 67 people on board both aircraft. Recovery efforts are underway and victims are being identified. Among the passengers were figure skaters, coaches, and family members from the Skating Club of Boston, as well as Russian world champion figure skaters Vadim Naumov and Evgenia Shishkova. The cause of the collision is under investigation. This is a tragic and complex situation. Here's a summary of the latest information available. Query. The crash. A mid-air collision occurred between an American Airlines regional jet, operated by PSA Airlines, and a U.S. Army Black Hawk helicopter near Ronald Reagan Washington National Airport on Wednesday night. The crash resulted in the deaths of all 67 people aboard both aircraft, 60 passengers and 4 crew on the plane, and 3 service members in the helicopter. The collision happened shortly before 9 p.m. Eastern Time near the Potomac River. The investigation, Remedea. The National Transportation Safety Board, NTSB, is leading the investigation. They have recovered the black boxes, flight data recorder, and cockpit voice recorder from the American Airlines plane. They will analyze this data to understand the sequence of events leading up to the crash. The NTSB has stated they will not speculate on the cause of the accident during the on-scene investigation and will release a preliminary report within 30 days. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has indicated the Black Hawk helicopter was on a training mission. Aviation expert John Cox has highlighted the challenging airspace around Reagan National Airport. Video footage of the incident exists, showing the aircraft flying at low altitude before an explosion at the moment of impact. The victims. Yeh Derambaf. Recovery efforts are ongoing, and as of Thursday morning, 28 bodies had been recovered. Many victims have begun to be identified. Tragically, a large group of figure skaters, coaches, and family members from the Skating Club of Boston were on board the plane, traveling to Wichita for the 2025 U.S. Figure Skating Championship. Russian world champion figure skaters Vadim Naumov and Evgenia Shishkova were also among the victims. Key points. Lastly, the investigation is in its early stages, and it will take time to determine the exact cause of the collision. The NTSB's analysis of the black boxes and other evidence will be crucial in understanding what happened. This is a devastating loss, and the thoughts and prayers are with the families and loved ones of all the victims. History in air collision.cat. The recent mid-air collision near Reagan National Airport is a stark reminder of the potential dangers of aviation. While such crashes are thankfully rare, they have occurred throughout history, each with its own tragic story. Here's a brief look at some of the most devastating plane crashes in U.S. history. September 11, 2001. The terrorist attacks on September 11th remain the deadliest aviation disaster in U.S. history. The coordinated attacks using hijacked airplanes resulted in the collapse of the World Trade Center towers and significant damage to the Pentagon, claiming the lives of thousands of innocent people. Tenerife Airport disaster, 1977. While not in the U.S., this is the deadliest aviation accident in history. 2 Boeing 747s collided on the runway in Tenerife, Canary Islands, killing 583 people. American Airlines Flight 191, 1979. This crash remains the deadliest single aircraft disaster in U.S. history. A McDonnell Douglas DC-10 crashed shortly after takeoff from O'Hare International Airport in Chicago due to a maintenance error, killing all 271 people on board and 2 on the ground. United Airlines Flight 232, 1989. Despite severe damage to the aircraft's hydraulic systems, the pilots of this DC-10 miraculously managed to maintain some control and crash land at Sioux Gateway Airport in Sioux City, Iowa. While 112 people died, 184 passengers and crew survived. Pan Am Flight 103, 1988. This Boeing 747 was destroyed by a bomb over Lockerbie, Scotland, killing all 259 people on board and 11 on the ground. These are just a few examples of the many tragic plane crashes that have occurred in the US and around the world. Each incident has led to investigations, safety improvements, and a greater understanding of the factors that can contribute to aviation accidents. The recent Potomac River crash is a devastating event, and the investigation will undoubtedly shed light on the specific circumstances that led to this tragedy. It's a reminder of the importance of ongoing efforts to improve aviation safety and prevent future accidents. You're right to ask about the relative safety of air travel. It's a common concern, especially in light of tragic events like the recent crash. Here's a breakdown of how air travel compares to other modes of transportation in terms of safety. Aviation is statistically one of the safest forms of transportation. Lower accident rates. Compared to driving, walking, or even cycling, air travel has a significantly lower accident rate per mile traveled. This is due to a combination of factors. Stringent regulations. The aviation industry is heavily regulated, with strict standards for aircraft design, maintenance, pilot training, and air traffic control. Advanced technology. Modern aircraft are equipped with sophisticated technology, including navigation systems, collision avoidance systems, and weather radar, which help to prevent accidents. Highly trained professionals. Pilots undergo rigorous training and are highly skilled in handling various situations. Air traffic controllers also play a crucial role in ensuring safe air travel. Data and statistics. The International Air Transport Association, IATA, reported that 2023 was the safest year for flying in over a decade, with the lowest accident rate on record. The fatality risk in aviation is extremely low, with only a tiny fraction of flights resulting in accidents. Comparison to other modes of transportation. Driving. Road travel is by far the most dangerous form of transportation, with a much higher rate of accidents and fatalities compared to air travel. Walking and cycling. While these modes of transportation are generally safe for everyday use, they also carry a higher risk of accidents compared to flying. Rail travel. Train accidents do occur, but rail travel is generally considered safer than driving, and is comparable to air travel in terms of safety. Important considerations. Perception of risk. Plane crashes, while rare, tend to receive significant media attention, which can create a perception that flying is more dangerous than it actually is. Black swan events. While overall safety statistics are excellent, aviation accidents can happen due to a combination of factors, including human error, mechanical failure, and unforeseen circumstances. In conclusion, despite the recent tragedy, it's important to remember that air travel remains remarkably safe. The aviation industry has made significant strides in improving safety over the years, and it continues to prioritize safety through ongoing research, technological advancements, and stringent regulations. While no mode of transportation is entirely without risk, flying is statistically one of the safest ways to travel.